The New Orleans Saints had one of the best off seasons, and not many people are talking about it. Adding players like Jarvis Landry, Chris Olave, Trevor Penning, Marcus May, and Tyrann Mathieu, all while having, I believe, negative $70 million to start off the offseason. I don't know how they do this every year, but it seems like they are just screwed in terms of cap. And then they go out and have one of the best off seasons and ending up with even more money left over. They kind of cheese it, but that's just smart football execution, I guess. But today, I'm gonna work to make the New Orleans Saints offseason even better. So if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to drop a like, a sub, and turn on notifications for my channel. All those help me out more than you could imagine. Let's see if we can hit 10 likes, 50 subs, and drop a comment down below of what team you want me to rebuild next. And in the next video, I'm going to start shouting out people who do suggest that. And go down and like some of the comments too, but I will shut up now, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Alright, taking a look at the roster here, the obvious question with this team is Jameis Winston and how will he perform with this amazing receiving core around him. And personally, I think Jameis Winston has top 10 upside, because if you take the season from a few years ago where he threw 30 touchdowns and 30 picks and like 5,000 yards, if you drop those picks down to like 8 or something, that's like an elite season. But because he had so many interceptions, because he was fucking blind apparently, he wasn't good, obviously. And last year, I believe he suffered a torn ACL, which is really unfortunate, but we'll see what he can do this year. And then obviously their first round picks, Chris Olave, who I am a huge fan of, as you can tell. There are no good pictures for players, so that's a terrifying picture, but I think he's a really good player. He was one of my favorite receivers in this class. And Trevor Penning, I'm not the biggest Trevor Penning fan, unfortunately. That's kind of hard to say, but I do think he is a solid player. I didn't give him the highest overall. I guess I could have gone a little higher, but I gave him star dev. I don't even think they needed tackle all that much. I mean, I think James Hurst is fine. Maybe you disagree, but I don't know. Also, these are obviously my custom ratings, so things are a little different here. If you couldn't already tell, I always use my custom rosters. But yeah, it's just crazy how this receiving core went from one of the worst in the NFL last year to one of the best, because last year they were rocking with Deontay Harris as their number one, and now Michael Thomas is back, and then they brought in Jarvis Landry and Chris Olave. And now they're like 7 deep at receiver with starting level players. I mean, their number 6 is Traquan Smith, who's a good player. It's crazy how a team can go from so bad to so good at a position in 1 year. And obviously Alvin Kamara is a very good running back, very good receiving back. Overall, this offensive line is questionable, but I do like Eric McCoy and Ryan Ramczyk. Tight end is very questionable. I did give Adam Troutman star dev because he does have some upside, but we'll just have to see. I think I've heard that he has drop issues, which is kind of weird, but those are fixable. Players like DK Metcalf have shown that. Marquez Valdes-Scantling have shown that. I mean, drops are fixable. Looking at the defensive side of the ball here, though, this new safety core is absolutely insane. Bringing in one of the best free safeties from a couple years ago in Marcus May, obviously from the New York Jets. I expect him to get back to his top safety form here. You did unfortunately lose Marcus Williams, but Marcus May is an amazing replacement. And Tyrann Mathieu, obviously recently. I do think he is a bit overrated in real life. I do still think he's a great safety though. And obviously much better than Malcolm Jenkins last year. So yeah, I love that safety core. Cornerback room, obviously Marshawn Lattimore, one of the better corners in the entire league. Honestly, kind of underrated at this point. I know Saints fans definitely think that, and I honestly agree. He's a very good and still very young corner. I believe he's 26 in real life, might still be 25, but he's probably 26. It's crazy because it feels like this team has had some of these players forever, but they're still so young, like Ryan Ramczyk. I guess Ryan Ramczyk's 27, but still, that's pretty young. Alvin Kamara, only 26, maybe 27 in real life. Like, it's crazy how young this team still is. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, aka like CD Deuce, I don't remember what he changed his name to for a bit, but very good like nickel corner slash safety slash whatever he is at this point. I don't really know. I have him listed at corner. I'm gonna play him in the slot, obviously. Bradley Roby is an okay corner. Paulson Adebo I do like. I might honestly give him a start over Bradley Roby. Yeah, I think I'll do that because Bradley Roby isn't really going to do anything for us. The linebackers here, and personally who I think is maybe the best linebacker in the NFL, maybe like second best, Demario Davis. He is insane. He can literally do everything, and I love that in a linebacker because linebacker in general isn't that valuable of a position, but if you have a player that can cover, that can rush the passer, that is a secure tackler, that's a lot for you. So I'm a big fan of Demario Davis, and yeah, you can see it says I have him as the #1 ranked middle linebacker on my roster, so big fan of him. Other than him though, I like Eric Wilson. He was really good with the Vikings a couple years ago. Pete Werner's good. Zach Bond, I think, is okay. I think he would be really good for a team like the Patriots where they run a hybrid, but I don't know. We'll have to see how the Saints use him. I don't know how they used him last year, honestly. And then this D-line is crazy good. You have the pass rush duo of Cam Jordan, who is still one of the better defensive linemen in the NFL. Marcus Davenport finally had a breakout year last year. I still don't think he is worth what they traded up to get him. The Saints kind of overpaid to draft players. I don't love that, but do what you gotta do, I guess. But I do think Marcus Davenport is still a great player. They drafted Peyton Turner in the first round last year, I believe it was, like mid to late first. That was kind of random. I thought he was more like a third round player, but you know, you draft him in the first. I guess I respect the process. I get that they see Cameron Jordan in him, but it was still kind of early. They definitely have a type for this D-line group, and I do think Carl Granderson is an underrated player. Just want to give him a shout out. David Onyemata is a pretty good defensive tackle. I like him quite a bit. Shai Tuttle, the GOAT. PJ Williams is solid. It seems like he's been there for literally 10 years. Andres P is maybe the worst player to ever go to a Pro Bowl. Oh yeah, they still have Mark Ingram, which I think is cool. They signed Andy Dalton, and Blake Bortles got pissed and wanted released. That was kind of funny. But yeah, this is a look at the team. Overall, this is a really good team. I mean, there are some holes like linebacker, but Zach Bond could break out. Depth at defensive tackle, but I like Malcolm Roach. And with the offensive line, a lot of these players are breakout candidates. Jameis Winston is a breakout candidate. Adam Troutman, Jawan Johnson. They're all breakout candidates this year, so I'm a big fan of this team, and let's get into year #1 of the rebuild. I will see you guys at the mid-season point, unless I make any moves. Alright, well, I threw Andy Dalton up on the trade block, and apparently the Carolina Panthers don't believe in either Matt Corral or Sam Darnold. I don't know if I want to take this, because that's really unrealistic, but also they offered it, so fuck you, I'm taking it. Alright, and we actually have like a breakout type of thing for Marcus Davenport. I am going to give him power moves, or pass rush moves, obviously. That's actually huge. Let's see if he goes up in overall. I'm guessing he does, because that's kind of a huge upgrade. Let's find out real quick. Okay, he does go up 1 overall. He was a base 82, now he's an 83, up to an 84 with morale. That is really, really, really good. Sick. Alright, and we actually do have a pretty realistic trade here. A 5th and a 7th for Bradley Roby to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers have a need at corner, and a 5th and a 7th is about what I think Bradley Roby would get. I mean, it's not much, but I think that's about what a team would offer for a below, or like an average old starting corner. So let's take that. And that is probably going to be the last trade I do this season. I try not to do too many trades, but I just feel like doing more this one for fun, so sue me if you don't like that, but I don't know. But we have cuts here. Is there anyone notable that I'm going to be cutting? Probably not. Oh yeah, Ian Book, the GOAT. I won't cut him, but I kind of want to, because I don't know how he's in the NFL. I don't want to cut Aesop Winston. I'm a fucking Washington State fan. I also don't want to cut Kevin White, because you know what? Fine. I have to, because we need roster space, but still. God, that receiving core is hot. Anyways, I'll finish the cutting, and I'll see you guys at the midseason point, I promise. Here at the midseason point of year #1, we are 4-2, coming off of a blowout win against the Seattle Seahawks, going up against the 2-5 Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year. I don't know what's wrong with them, but I'm glad we're not looking like that. Jameis Winston is not doing great, but somehow this team is still pretty good. Alvin Kamara is doing great. This defense must be crazy. Let's check sacks real quick. I mean, that's good, but that's not a ton. I don't know why this team is 4-2. I'll just go with it. Oh yeah, we're first in defensive yards. Okay, that makes more sense. But let's check re-signings real quick. I'm not sure if we have really anyone that we would need to re-sign. Deontay Harris, ooh, JAMEIS, Shy Tuttle. Okay, there are a couple players I do want to re-sign here, so let's try to bring some of them back. Deontay Harris. Oh, we're broke. I forgot we are the Saints, and we're just inevitably broke for all of eternity, but somehow still managed to work around the cap and sign players. Okay, I guess we'll just reassess at the end of the year, and hopefully we can actually re-sign players by then. I really hope we don't lose some of those players. I guess we'll have to see what happens. We have a couple upgrades here. JAMEIS, okay, cool. Let's give him strong arm. I think that sounds good. Okay, cool. And there was one more thing I wanted to do. What did I want to do? Oh yeah, we have trade offers. Okay, Marquez Callaway. I think I'm gonna trade both of these players off just because they're pure depth pieces, and it's the trade deadline. I'm sorry I'm trading so many of the players away. It's just this team is so deep, and we can turn those into value where we actually need it, rather than being like 7 deep at receiver and like 5 deep at safety. I'd rather just get players that we can actually use on this team. You know what I mean? So we're trading those 2 players off. I believe we traded Callaway to the Bears and then PJ Williams to the Philadelphia Eagles. So those are pretty good deals for us. And there's nothing else to really do here except sim it out. So I will see you guys at the end of year number 1. Okay, so a couple bad things at the end of the year. We missed the playoffs, obviously, going 8-9. Well, we just blew the Falcons out, but they went 4-13, so I don't think that really counts for much. And we are negative $33.4 million in cap space. This is rough. We'll have to see if there's anything we can do. I'm not sure what we can do, but there's really nothing else to do. Oh, I should check season stats. I will check season stats. I didn't click schedule this time. Be proud of me. JAMEIS, though, he turned it around. Of course, now that we can't re-sign him, he pops off, but 38 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, which isn't that bad, especially for JAMEIS. Almost 5,000 yards, only 62% completion percentage, but that's not terrible, I guess. Not great, but not terrible. 1,300, almost 1,400 yards for Alvin Kamara, and 19 touchdowns. Up to a 94 overall, playing up to a 97 with morale. That is a disgusting season. Okay, he doesn't really put up those rushing numbers in real life, at least as of recently, but that's still really good. And looking at receiving here, Michael Thomas with 1,300 yards and 8 touchdowns. Great year for him. Jarvis Landry, almost 1,200 yards and 11 touchdowns, which is cool because, you know, he's kind of the point of this rebuild. I won't say he's fully the point, but, you know, it's going to be the title and thumbnail, so kind of the point. Chris Olave, 869 yards, nice, and 5 touchdowns. Adam Troutman, 776 yards and 7 touchdowns, and Alvin Kamara puts up good receiving numbers. 650 yards and 3 touchdowns. Cool. He was solely responsible for like almost 2,000 yards. Did he hit 2,000? Hold on. 1,387 plus 657. Do the math for me down in the comments. Tell me how many yards that is, and 22 touchdowns. Because I think that is about 2,000 yards. That is a gross season. Looking at line here. Okay, so few things here. Trevor Penning was bad, but he was a rookie, so I'll give him a pass. Eric McCoy was horrific. 9 sacks for a center. Good centers in this game let up 2 sacks or less. He let up 9. That is gross. And Cesar Ruiz let up 0 sacks. Okay, well, I think we know the good lineman and the bad lineman here. Jesus. Hopefully they play better next year, those 2 that did bad, but that was a really weird group. Let's look at tackles first. Pete Werner had 121. Demario Davis with 115 and Marshawn Lattimore with 109. Pretty good group. Sorry, had to let a train go by. You might have heard that. Tackles for loss. Whoa. 3 players with 16. Marcus Davenport, David Onyemata, and Cam Jordan all had 16 each. Shy Tuttle had 15. Really weirdly balanced. Each of our defensive linemen had either 16 or 15. Really strange. And then in terms of sacks, Marcus Davenport was insane. 14 sacks, up to an 85. Nice. Cam Jordan with 9.5 sacks, which is really good. He was probably getting double teamed out there. I don't think that's how it works in Madden, but we'll make that excuse. That's why Davenport had more sacks than him. I don't know. David Onyemata with 5. Shy Tuttle with 3.5. I mean, our top 2 players did really well, but other than them, there weren't really any sacks at all. Interceptions, Demario Davis with 3. CJ, what the hell is his name at this point? I think it's still, does he go by CJ Gardner-Johnson? I don't know what he goes by now. But 2 picks for him. Marshawn Lattimore with 2, Tyrann Mathieu with 2, a number of players with 4. Pretty good in terms of defense here. Will Lutz was bad. I might look for a new kicker. Overall, I don't know why this team was bad because we were 3rd in offense. Okay, our defense fell off. We started the year at number 1 and now we are number 20. I see why. Let's check MVP. Aaron Rodgers wins it. Russell Wilson, my favorite player, comes in at number 2. Well, arguably my favorite player. JAMEIS at number 4. It's going to be really unfortunate when we can't re-sign him. Oh, God. Baltimore? Y'all good? 3-14? Y'all okay? What the fuck happened? I guess that receiving core is terrible, but I didn't think it would be that bad. Okay. Alvin Kamara actually up there, too, at number 10. This offense was great. I don't know what happened to our defense, but this offense was great. Offensive Player of the Year, JAMEIS at number 2. Alvin Kamara at 4. No other Saints. Drew Lock with the horsecock up in there. Marcus Davenport came in at number 3 for Defensive Player of the Year. No other Saints, unfortunately. I'm surprised we didn't see a player like Demario Davis. I don't know. We had a few players that did pretty well, but apparently not well enough. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Do we see a player? Yep, we do see Chris Olave at number 8, playing up to an 81 overall. Nice. And Defensive Player of the Year. I don't like how it's a mix of actual rookies and not actual rookies, but Pete Werner in at number 7 and Paulson Adebo at number 10. He must have had a pretty good year. I didn't even really notice. But yeah, overall, disappointing year, but there were a number of players who exceeded my expectations. So it's kind of a weird mix of disappointment and actual like hope for the future. So without further ado, let's get into this offseason, and I am prepared for whatever pain this game is going to bring me. Alright, here in the re-signing period, we are down to negative 11 million. But that's still $11 million over the cap, so let's see if we can make any cuts here. I don't know if I will, but I'm hoping we can find someone that, you know, we don't really need. Unfortunately, though, there isn't really that here. I would feel bad cutting Taysom Hill, but we kind of need to at this point. I might re-sign him at some point. It gives us a penalty, but it still overall saves us cap. Andres Pete, we're going to cut to. Again, the penalty is a little high because of how the Saints run things here, but it's worth it for us. Mark Ingram, I'll probably look to re-sign him at some point just because, you know, he's kind of a franchise. I don't want to say legend, but definitely a fan favorite. JT Gray, I'll cut. That saves us money. I don't know why he was making so much. Pat Elflein, backup center. I'm just finding whatever money I can here. Just cutting whatever depth piece for whatever amount as long as it, you know, is a net positive. Jelani Tavai, $2 million, I'm good. So I think that might bring us over the cap here. I'm not going to cut Tano Passignon. I don't know if I said that right. I think I did. David Onyemata, I'm not going to cut him either. He's good. If I have to, I might unfortunately do it, but I really don't want to because it's really not that much to pay him. But let's check re-signings here. I at least want JAMEIS back. He has a superstar dev trait. Do I tag him? I think I'm going to. I'm going to offer him like a minimum, so he obviously declines it, and then I don't know if I want to pay JAMEIS on the tag. I don't know if that's worth it. God, this is such a terrible position to be in. I don't know how the Saints deal with this every year. Well, I do, but like, it's such a weird position to be in. I do have 3 players here that I really want to bring back. I don't know what to do. Okay, I really don't have money to bring back anyone, so I'll just offer JAMEIS this, and then obviously he's gonna, I don't even have the cap apparently. Obviously he's gonna decline that. 1 year 28, that's not that bad. Okay, yep, I'll do that, sure. And then obviously we're not gonna have any money to re-sign Deontay Harris, Shai Tuttle. It's such a tough position to be in, but there's nothing I can really do about it. So we got JAMEIS back at the very least, and we'll go into this offseason with negative $26.9 million. I don't think there's really going to be anyone here anyways. I hope not, at least at this point. Most of the time there aren't in year number 1, so yeah, it's just the usual suspects. Devondre Campbell, Trent Brown, like just the usual players that are here, so I'm not too upset about that. Just whatever players that wouldn't really do much for us. I do want to check my roster again. Do I have anyone else I might want to cut or try to restructure or something like that? No, there isn't really anyone here. And I don't know why I said restructure, because you can't do that in this game, because it's EA. But yeah, there's nothing I can really do about this, except I guess let's just go to the draft and hope that we have a pretty good one. Alright, here in the 2023 NFL Draft, we have the number 15 overall pick. Actually, do we? Hold on, let me see. Okay, so it doesn't look like the Saints have a pick this year. I don't know what they did with this pick, though. Did they trade it up? I don't know what they did with this pick, I'm going to be honest. I think they might have traded... Oh, I think what they did is they got this pick from the Eagles and then traded... I don't know. They got a pick from the Eagles, then traded that up for Chris Olave, so they traded a first to the Eagles and then traded up even more with the Commanders, and then took Chris Olave. I think that's what happened. That's just what I am guessing. Well, I'm not really guessing, but I don't fully remember, but I think that's what happened. So we obviously have to trade this pick away to the Eagles. We'll take a 7th from them. The Eagles have been tearing it up lately. Good shit from them, and let's sim to the 2nd round. I don't honestly know what I'm going to be looking for here. I might look for either an interior offensive lineman, maybe like a linebacker, D-tackle, maybe even corner. There are quite a few needs for this team still. I just don't really know what to do about that, because obviously we're like dead broke, but I'll look for a couple good players and I will let you know when I find the best one. Alright, I don't know why I find interesting names all the time, but we have Nick Cantu here. I think that's the name of the voice of Gumball from The Amazing World of Gumball. That's just what I remember, because I mean he kind of became a celebrity for like a year in like 2019 or something, at least online. But there was one player I wanted to go with. Now I think I'm gonna have to find him again because I don't remember which one it was. I think it might be this guy right here. Yeah, John Campbell. Overall not the best looking stats, but if you've seen one of my videos before, you will know I'm a sucker for good awareness and good play rec, because those are like the two most important stats for overall. He is 23 years old, but he runs a 4.74, 22 reps on the bench, which neither of those are great, but they're okay. They're not the worst. I just really like the A awareness, A block shed. He has B man, which is solid, D injury, which doesn't matter because we don't have injuries, obviously. I am going to take John Campbell here. Let's see. Alright, he does have hidden development, and he has really good acceleration and agility. He's only 228 pounds, which I didn't realize. I thought that said 238. So yeah, he's a really small linebacker, kind of like a coverage player, I guess. I am a big fan of that one, and he looks even better than I expected. That might have been a really good pick. Alright, I found a really intriguing player here. That is Jalen Birch, a defensive tackle out of Georgia. He is 6'5", 307, only 21 years old, left-handed, just like me. Let's go. Hold up. That was really cringe. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that. But he ran a 5.04 at the Combine, which was the 5th best for defensive tackles, 36 reps on the bench at the Combine, 38 at his Pro Day, which was the 3rd best in each category. Can't jump for shit, but oh well. And his skills look okay from what I know. B play rec is good. C block shed is not great, but it's okay. F hit power obviously bad. D tackle is bad, but I'm guessing the awareness is about a B, and we don't know what the power moves or finesse moves are, because EA, like, that should be one of the first things you check for a defensive tackle. Maybe like run defense, then that, but I mean, I see loves to use a spin as a counter move, so that probably tells me he is a speed rusher, but I don't fully know. Let's just take him. He seems like a good player. Okay, he does have normal, but I honestly expect this dude to be a decent overall. 90 strength, 70 speed, which isn't awful for a defensive tackle. Unfortunately, we don't know much else about him, but I guess that's why we'll just have to check it after the draft. Alright, and this is going to be my final pick of the draft, because there really isn't much here in terms of positions of need. Now, I haven't checked like other positions, but Ethan Price, he looks really good. 6'4", 320, only 22 years old, ran a 5.18, but he's a lineman, so it doesn't really matter. 37 reps on the bench at the Combine, almost a 30-inch vertical leap for a 320-pound player. That's very good. And he has A impact block, B pass block, A pass block finesse, C run block power, which isn't great, but for like a projected day 3 player that's still solid, he has A impact block and A pass block as a projected day 3 player. That is wild. So let's take him here. He obviously has hidden. I mean, I don't know what else you would expect. 89 strength. Not the fastest, but again, he's a lineman. It literally doesn't matter. So that is all for this draft. And now I will see you with the draft recap. Alright, here is a recap of the draft, and honestly, this is kind of very disappointing. John Campbell, I thought he was going to be like a 75 overall. He is only a 72. And he's a speed rusher. That's really not what I expected. So he had A man coverage, but that was only 61. Why? And he doesn't even have good finesse moves, so I don't know how he's a speed rusher. He kind of just looks more like a run defender. So he's a 228-pound speed rusher that can't speed rush. Okay, at least he is hidden dev, but what the hell? Jalen Birch is bad. Yeah, I thought he was going to be solid, but he is not. And Ethan Price, I thought he was going to be something like a 73 because he looked so good, but apparently this was just a terrible class because the A was only a 78 or a 77. It showed an A for finesse, I believe, so it was only a 77. I thought it was going to be more like an 80, and I thought he was going to be better in run blocking, whatever. It drafted Jonathan Babineau. Came back to the NFL as a running back. That's very interesting. That was a weak draft. I want to check the overall draft. Okay, yeah, this was just a terrible draft class. There wasn't really much good here. There were a lot of 74s, but yeah, this was just overall a pretty awful draft. I mean, there were a few 75s, but only 1, 2, 3, 4 players 76 and up. This was just an unlucky draft. Daniel Widmer looks like a good QB, but only normal. Yeah, this was a terrible draft. Okay, I don't feel too bad now. It was just bad. So I guess I'll just see you guys for the start of year number 1. I meant to say start of year number 2, but we do have a mentor rookie here. I don't know who this is going to be. Hopefully the linebacker because he kind of needs it. Jonathan Babineau. Long-term development. Give him a dev trait, I guess. I don't know. Fuck it. Sure, thanks, Alvin. Not really gonna be a good player for us, hopefully, but we'll see. Or no, hopefully he is. Hopefully, I didn't mean to say hopefully he's not a good player. I hope he's a good player, but I really don't know. I clicked a different one. I meant to click the same one to see see if his dev went up, but I clicked the wrong one because I'm fucking stupid. And then we took Cesar Ruiz in the first round thing. Is that Ryan Ramczyk? That doesn't look like him, really. No, it's James Hurst. Dude, why? Well, I don't really know. I'll give him pass blocking, sure. Why not? Finesse. I don't know what the scheme is here. I'll go pass block finesse. That's probably completely wrong, but sure. We'll give Cesar Ruiz that. Well, no, he was really good last year, so I'm happy with that. And then mentor rookie will recap the one of the running back. Okay, I don't care. Let's just see if he went up a dev trait. Okay, he did. He went up to star dev. Cool. Now I already know what a dev trait is, game. Okay, we're in a bit of a predicament here. So I want to cut players like Marshawn Lattimore, Ryan Ramczyk, Michael Thomas, Cam Jordan, because we are... Hold on, let me just show you this real quick. This is unbelievable. Let's go free agents, and let's just try to sign a player. We are negative $34.5 in cap space. Not $34.5, $34.5 million in cap space. I guess it's probably more like 32, because we're trying to sign Matt Gay, but still. That is way too much. My worry is, well, I want to cut these players so it frees up cap space. But my worry is that if I do that, I won't be able to sign them back. You know what? I'm not going to be a bitch. I'm going to try to do it because we are... I don't know. It's tough, dude. Because I really want to actually be able to, make this team solid, but it's so much of a risk that I almost don't know if it's worth it. You know what? I'm just gonna do it. I'll try and create some cap space. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so I cut them. Ryan Ramczyk. Okay, we're good. Okay, I think we'll be good. Ryan Ramczyk will bring him back. Marshawn Lattimore will bring him back. Cam Jordan will bring him back. And then who was the last one? It was David Onyemata. Okay, was that cheese? Kind of, but was it any more cheese than what the Saints do in real life? No, it was way less. So yeah, that created a lot of cap space. I see why we were so broke now. It was because the salaries for these players were absolutely disgusting. And we could honestly save even more money now if I truly wanted to. and cut a couple more of these players and re-sign them, but I'm not going to do that. That's too risky, I guess. So here's a look at the team going into year number 2 of the rebuild. Obviously, Jameis Winston has superstar development now, which is great. The receiving core is looking really good. We're lacking that kind of depth now that they have in real life, but we still do have these great 3 top wide receivers. Chris Olave up to an 81 now. This offensive line is looking a lot better. We have Trevor Penning, Forrest Lamp, Eric McCoy, who was disappointing last year, Cesar Ruiz, who was amazing, and Ryan Ramczyk. And then we also have this rookie, Ethan Price, who is a really good pick, and I am excited to see how he develops. I might even start him over Forrest Lamp. We'll have to see. Looking at defense here, though, linebackers, Demario Davis is regressing, but we do have this rookie, what's his name, John Campbell. I'm going to start him over Eric Wilson. Safety is still looking good, haven't regressed at all. I mean, also haven't developed, but they're old, so I don't expect that, but haven't regressed. Corners have developed a little bit, all 3 of them, so I'm happy with that. D-line still looking really good. I am lacking a defensive tackle 2 now, though, but hopefully we can sign one in this offseason's free agency. Does that make sense? Does that sentence make sense? I don't know. I'm not fully awake. But yeah, overall, this team is looking great. Also, Marcus Davenport went up to superstar. I didn't notice that, but that's really nice. So we had a couple dev-ups that year. But yeah, overall, I'm really happy with how this team is looking. We have a bright future, so let's get into year number 2 of the rebuild, and I will see you guys at the mid-season point. Alright, here at the mid-season point of year number 2, we are unfortunately only 2-4. That's kind of what I expected. I mean, normally we do better the first year, worse the second year, and then finally the final year is the kind of best year. Jameis is not doing very well. Only 8 touchdowns through like 6 games, barely over 1 touchdown per game, and almost an interception per game. The interceptions are low, which is a good thing. Well, relatively low. 5 in 6 games isn't great, but it's okay. 62% completion percentage, not ideal, but that's what he had last year. Alvin Kamara, 620 yards and 6 touchdowns. Of course, he's doing well. I'm not going to go through all the stats yet. I just want to see what the problem is, as I usually do. Like, what makes us good, what makes us bad. Cam Jordan is going off. Well, I use that term loosely. That's not amazing, but it's definitely good. Marcus Davenport isn't doing very well, so I think overall I'm just going to leave the team as it is. I'm not really going to make any changes to the depth chart or anything. I will check re-signings, though, any big names. Probably, considering we cut half of the team and then re-signed them, but those will probably be later. Yeah, there are a few of those later on. Hopefully they're cheaper by that point, but Marcus Davenport I definitely do want back. And thank God we actually do have a lot of cap this year, so I'll re-sign him for 6 years. Hopefully he takes that, and he does. Next up, CD Deuce, CJ Gardner-Johnson, Chauncey, whatever the hell his name is. Apparently CJ, but I don't know, maybe he changed it again since then. Just not the salary. Okay, I'll give him a better one later on in the deal. Eric McCoy, how is he playing this year? This all depends on how he's doing, because I know last year he did pretty terribly. Let's see, only one? Okay, absolutely, yes. Let's bring him back on like a 5-year deal, or I don't know, it really doesn't matter. We're not going to go that long anyways, and he wants a better salary. Of course he does. Jameis, I'm actually going to wait until the end of the year to see how he does, because he did this last year. He played terribly in the first half and then picked it way back up in the second half. We'll see if he does that again. I expect him to maybe do that again, but I really don't know for sure. Let's just re-sign the punter so we don't have to worry about that. Blake Gillikin. Is that the Browns old no, that was, is that the Browns old? What's the Browns punter's name? The guy with the long hair. I can't remember. That might, no, I don't think that's him, because I think his picture's in the game. I think it's something similar to that. I don't know. He's a terrible punter, but he looks sexy, no homo. So I am going to re-sign probably these 4 later. Onyemata, Jordan, Ramczyk, and Lattimore, and then the rest of these guys can maybe walk. It depends. Okay, and I think that's all I'm really going to do here. There isn't a whole lot else to do. Upgrades, probably just maybe depth pieces, but hopefully some good players. Yeah, some good players here. John Campbell, the rookie linebacker, is up to maybe a 74. Let's give him run stopper. Yeah, he's up to a 74. Sick. Let us upgrade these other players, and then now I will see you guys at the end of year number 2. Hopefully we're in the playoffs, but probably not. Alright, and we do get CJ Gardner-Johnson back, so that's good. Eric McCoy comes back, sick. I brought Malcolm Roach back because right now he's our DT2. Ryan Ramczyk does reject us. He wants more money. What a money-hungry fucking bitch. Marshawn Lattimore, cool, he comes back. Cam Jordan comes back for a relatively good deal, 1 year 14, that's not too bad. And with David Onyemata, I don't know if I want to bring him back because he's probably going to be down to like a 77 by the end of the year, 78, so we'll see, we'll reassess at the end of the year if we want to bring him back. Other than that though, I don't think I'm going to re-sign any of these players. So let's go to the end of the year. Alright, and unfortunately we are not in the playoffs, going 7-10 this year. I don't know why I always start so bad in rebuilds. It seems like the first 2 years are always just throwaway years, and then finally, in the last year, we actually have success. JAMEIS was not good this year. 4,300 yards, 4.343, 29 touchdowns, 12 picks. That's not great at all. Alvin Kamara was crazy. 1,700, almost 1,800 yards, 6.1 yards per carry, 19 touchdowns, 0 fumbles. In the rookie, Jonathan Babineau, he didn't play super well. 3 per carry is not good at all, but I mean, he was our number 2, probably like a goal line type of guy, so I don't really know how that works, but the running back 2 always has a bad yards per carry number. So Michael Thomas, 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns. Jarvis Landry, 906. Chris Olave, 860 yards and 5 touchdowns. Adam Troutman, 671 yards and 8 touchdowns. Alvin Kamara, less receiving yards this year, but more rushing yards, so fair trade-off. And let's check blocking. Trevor Penning was better. Ryan Ramczyk, though, was worse than he was last year, but Trevor Penning is improving. What's his overall now? He's up to a 75, that's pretty good. Forrest Lamp let up 5 sacks. Cesar Ruiz let up 4, but that's still not bad for a guard. And Eric McCoy was actually really good this year compared to last year, and just in general. Let's check tackles. Pete Werner at 122, Tyrann at 113, Marshawn Lattimore at 103. Good tackle numbers if anyone cares about that. I might just not even check tackle numbers. I mean, they're tackles. Tackles for loss, 19 from Cam Jordan, 13 from David Onyemata, 12 for Marcus Davenport, 10 for Tano Passanio. I'm running out of breath, I don't know why. Cam Jordan had 11.5 sacks, Marcus Davenport with 8.5, and other than those two, there were like none. So yeah, I think I see what the problem is, because even 11.5 and 8.5 isn't a ton for Madden. I mean, that sounds kind of wild because those are pretty good numbers, but I mean, for Madden, that's not ideal. Picks were not great either. It looks like the defense was kind of the problem this year. Yeah, 5th in offense. How about defense, if it wants to show me? 31st. Yeah, I'm probably going to be assessing the defense this year. 5th in points scored. How about points allowed? 29th. Yeah, I'm going to be assessing the defense, specifically defensive tackle. Josh Allen won MVP. Interesting. Oh yeah, Alvin Kamara. Okay, cool. How about offensive player of the year? We see Alvin Kamara at number 3. No other Saints. Defense, let's check. No Saints, unfortunately, in here. Carl Nassib, let's go, the GOAT at number 8. With the Cowboys, I don't think... I'm not going to make that joke. That's a bad joke to make. I'm not going to fucking make that joke. Jonathan Babineau at number 9 for Offensive Rookie of the Year. How about defense? Defensive Rookie of the Year, John Campbell, the linebacker, at number 8. I'm surprised we didn't have more players up there, but then again, I don't even know who our rookies were, so kind of makes sense. So let's go to the offseason now, and I think the goals are going to be getting a good defensive tackle. It says we have a D at free safety. Why do we have a D at free safety? Did, like, Marcus May retire early or something? Or what happened? I think our free safety is good. Yeah, I don't know why Marcus May has a D. That's not good phrasing. I don't know why free safety has a D grade. There we go. That's way better than what I said the first time. Okay, also something I realized is I wanted to play Ethan Price at left guard, and I forgot to. So this year I will start him at left guard over Forrest Lamp, even though he was good. But I just want to do that because Ethan Price has a lot of upside, obviously. So I will see you guys in the offseason. Alright, here again for re-signings. I'm actually not going to be bringing back Jameis Winston. Same with Forrest Lamp. Tano Passanio, I'll bring him back. He played okay, I think. So let's back out of that because I accidentally messed with something. I don't know what I did. So we'll re-sign him. Never mind, go fuck yourself. Eric Wilson, no. Ryan Ramczyk, oh, I forgot he was here. So he wants better salary, better bonus? Sure, why not? Cool, we got Ryan Ramczyk back. He didn't play great last year, but I don't want to have to deal with not having him, you know what I mean? So, Michael Jordan, wish we had the other one, but I don't know how good he would be in football. Cool, we got him back, and let's bring Sadiq Charles back. I said that kind of weird. My mouth kind of like closed up. That was cool. Okay, so yeah, I'm not going to bring those two back. So let's get into the offseason. Hopefully there's some at least solid free agents there. I don't know what to expect, and I don't know how much money we're going to have. It looks like we have about 21 mil. I hope we... Oh, 22. Okay. Moment of truth. Hopefully there's a game-changing free agent here, because this team is regressing and we need help. Okay. So I don't think I'm going to be doing that. However, Aaron Rodgers is intriguing, but I also don't know if I want to do that. Ooh, Demario Davis has regressed. Oh my god. I'm going to cut him and re-sign him in free agency. Or re-sign a different player in free agency, because I feel like I could get him for cheaper. Alright, so these are the players I'm going to be going after in this free agency. Obviously, Demario Davis. I'm bringing in Sean Murphy-Bunting on a 3-year, $25 million deal. We need a fourth corner. Or I guess he'll be our number 3, or I guess number 2, because Chauncey Gardner-Johnson or CJ Gardner-Johnson is our slot corner. I'm bringing in Quintez Cephas because we need a fourth receiver, and this team really lacks speed at receiver. I guess Chris Olave has good speed, but we have Michael Thomas, who's a big slot kind of guy, not super fast, and then we have Jarvis Landry, who is really slow as a receiver, but he's good, but just slow. So we're bringing in Quintez Cephas, who has probably like 97 speed, 96 speed. I'm thinking of the wrong player. Give me a second. Okay, we'll bring in Darius Slayton. I was thinking of Quez Watkins from the Eagles. I'm really fucking tired right now. We'll bring in Darius Slayton because he is a faster receiver. You guys were probably like, what the hell are you talking about? I was thinking of Quez Watkins from the Eagles. I hope I am getting the right name there. He is, yes, I think that is the right one. Okay. Kingsley Keke we are bringing in to play at defensive tackle just because we have literally nothing at defensive tackle. I was going to go with, what's his name? Jeffrey Simmons, but he was like asking $20 million a year. I didn't have the money for that. And we're offering Gardner Minshew a really, really low ball deal with the money we have left over just because I would rather not play Ian Book. I want at least something at QB, and then we'll likely draft one if there is a good one. So that's a look at our free agency, and let's see how many of those players sign. Alright, so we get Kingsley Keke, we get Sean Murphy-Bunting, and we get Darius Slayton. Perfect. Well, not perfect actually, because there's still a couple players that we haven't signed yet. There is still Demario Davis, who has a big market now. God damn it. And we're still winning for Gardner Minshew, but the Demario Davis one is unfortunate because now we're kind of without a linebacker. It's tough. Well, actually, that's a lot of points right there. That's not going to be enough, though. I am going to do a few things and make some cap real quick. Give me a second. Alright, so I cut a few players, most notably James Hurst. Is that his name? Hold on. I gotta check. Yeah, James Hurst. Okay, I can never remember if it's James or John, but it is James. So we are going to try and sign Demario Davis here. Kind of screwed ourselves by cutting him, but we'll hopefully get him back. I sure hope so. We actually need to give him more money. Oh god. Alright, so it looks like 1 year, 11.7 million will hopefully do the trick. I'm not 100% sure if it will, but it looks like it hopefully will. So let's go into the next week and hope and pray that a few of those, or both of those players sign. I guess it's only 2. Okay, so we get Demario Davis at least. We still haven't gotten Gardner Minshew. I hope we get Gardner Minshew because we are desperate for a QB. We are very desperate. Okay, someone's offering for Gardner Minshew. That's tough. There are still these top 2 QBs here. I just can't afford them. I don't want to cheese it and give them like 1 year, $4 million, because obviously in real life they wouldn't take that. I really can't do anything here at QB, so we're going to have to draft a player. No matter how bad the players are, we're going to have to draft one. I'm not even going to give him an offer because that's so unrealistic. I can't. That's just cheese. So now I will see you guys. Actually, I won't. 5th year options. Let's see what this is. Cesar Ruiz. Absolutely. He's been amazing. He's let up 4 sacks in 2 years. Yes, sir. Give me that. 0 in the 1st year. So absolutely. And any others? No? Okay, we're good. So let's get into the NFL draft of 2024, yeah. Here in the 2024 NFL draft, we have the number 9 overall pick. And with the quarterbacks in this class, there is literally one draftable player if it would load, which it probably won't. Okay, there is one draftable player, and I personally did not know that if they are 100% scouted, it will show their actual draft position in the second column over. Like, if you look at this top QB, which thank God I didn't take him, he's a projected first to second rounder, but his talent is a potential UDFA. With this QB, Bruce Meredith here, he is a first to second round talent, so I'm probably going to be taking him here in a second, but I just want to show you that there is only one other draftable player in this class, and that is UDFA Trent Carson. He is a day 3 pick, and I probably will take him later on in this draft. But for now, I'm going to be taking, I almost took the bad QB. I'm going to be taking quarterback Bruce Meredith, 6'2", 208 pounds, only 22 years old, from Boston College. Ran a 4.68, which is pretty damn fast. 4.61 at his pro day. That's good for a QB. A awareness, A throw on the run, A throw accuracy deep. What else does he have? Just overall good stats. And someone in my comments told me that it shows their throw power somewhere. Where does it show throw power? Oh, it says great. It doesn't really say what it is. It just says great. That's interesting. I would prefer if it said like A or B or C, whatever. It's fine. Let's take Bruce Meredith here. He has 92 throw power, 84 speed, 88 acceleration, 88 change of direction for a QB. That is disgusting. This guy looks very good, and I'm very happy that we actually have, hopefully, a good QB now. Alright, I'm not even going to look at the rest of the defensive tackles. This guy looks great. Chris Traylor out of Illinois. He's 6'5", 298 pounds, only 21 years old. He ran a 5.17, which is slow, obviously, but 34 reps on the bench is great. A play rec, B power moves, B impact block, B tackle, F hip power, which doesn't matter. I mean, maybe, but I don't really care. Let's take Chris Traylor. He's going to be our DT1. Okay, he does only have normal development. That's really unfortunate. I'm going to actually take another defensive tackle with the next pick, but 88 strength isn't the worst. But yeah, I'm going to be taking another one. All right, here I'm going to be taking DeMarcus Scott. He is 6'5", 286 pounds, only 22 years old, out of Stanford. He ran a 4.86, which was the best for defensive tackles, 33 reps on the bench, which is solid. He jumped how high? He jumped 33.5 inches at 286 pounds. Impressive. B play rec, A impact block. I don't know a whole lot about him, but what I do know is pretty good, so let's take him. He's the best one here, and we need it. So 88 strength, 80 acceleration, 82 jumping for a defensive tackle, 74 speed. Unfortunately does have normal development though, but he hopefully will be one of our starters this year. I don't know what either of those players' overalls are going to be, but we actually have the next pick right here. I don't know what I'm going to do right here. I might not even take that. I might just sim out the rest of the draft, to be honest with you. Alright, yeah, I think I'm just going to sim out the rest of the draft and hope that it takes some good players, and I will see you guys at the start of the third and final year of the rebuild. Alright, looking at a recap of our draft, Bruce Meredith was a 73 overall. That's about what I expected. I thought he would be like a 72, so I am happy that he is a 73. Obviously has the hidden development. Let's see if there are any interesting stats. 92 throw power, obviously we already saw that, but 87 throw on the run, that's nice. I don't think it showed that. The defensive tackle we took, Chris Traylor, was not that good. Only a 69 overall, that's about what I expected. DeMarcus Scott was a little better though. He was a 71, so he was the better player there. I like that. And the first pick that actually simmed was Jose Fowler. He is a 74 overall, and I'm a big fan of that one. So he might even play at linebacker, or I guess he would be like our linebacker 4, but close to playing. And I actually did pick this guy, Torrey Pope. He only has normal development. Caleb Smith, I took him to be our tight end 2, also only normal. Trent Carson, I did end up taking the quarterback that was draftable, only a 65, but he is an interesting player. And then I simmed out the rest, and it took this Carlos Harper guy. He's a 70 overall, and he has hidden development. 90 speed, 92 excel, 82 catch. This guy is good, and we just picked him in the, 6th round? Yeah, 6th round. Round 6, pick 9. Nice. So yeah, I kind of want to get him some playing time. I don't know where I would play him at. I guess he's like our wide receiver 5, but I'll figure something out. So let's get into the team for the third and final year of the rebuild. Here is a look at the team going into the third and final year of the rebuild. Obviously the rookie quarterback, Bruce Meredith, 73 overall, hidden development, so pretty good rookie. Hopefully he plays better than JAMEIS did. JAMEIS wasn't bad in the first year, but last year he just kind of stunk it up. Alvin Kamara, obviously playing up to a 96 overall, one of the best running backs in the league in real life and here. Michael Thomas hasn't regressed too much, playing up to a 93 overall with morale. Chris Olave at an 85, Jarvis Landry at an 82, and obviously we have an insanely deep receiving core still, just like the Saints in real life this year, so I like that a lot. Adam Troutman has developed a little bit. The offensive line as a whole is looking pretty good. I mean, it's probably an average of like an 82, something like that, so I'm very happy with that. Trevor Penning isn't developing too well, but not bad at a 75 overall, so I'll take it. Obviously, Ryan Ramczyk playing amazing, well, at an amazing overall, not playing amazing. Cesar Ruiz is playing amazing, though, and I'm very happy with that. Looking at the defensive side of the ball, though, our safety core is still amazing, with Marcus May and Tyrann Mathieu not regressing too much. Marshawn Lattimore is playing up to a 91 overall, so that's great. Sean Murphy-Bunting and C.D. Deuce playing pretty well. And of course, Paulson Adebo still in there. Cam Jordan is regressing, but Marcus Davenport is developing, playing up to an 88 overall with morale. And then our linebackers, I haven't really talked about this much, but Pete Werner is actually kind of developing really nicely. Ranked as the number 7 right outside linebacker, so it's about top 25 for linebackers-ish. 21, but they're more middle linebackers, so 25-ish probably. So that's actually really good. And obviously the rookie linebacker, Jose Fowler, pretty good player. Not really gonna use him a whole lot, but I kind of have some of these linebackers mixed in like rush packages and like sub linebackers and everything like that. Demario Davis is regressing, but still at an 82, so not too bad. And just overall, this team is great. The only position of concern is defensive tackle. My number 1 is going to be Chris Traylor, 21 years old, playing up to a 71 right now, so not too bad, but not amazing. And then our number 2 defensive tackle, DeMarcus Scott, is playing up to a 72 right now. So hopefully one of them takes a big step this year. Well, I guess has a good rookie year. And we hopefully can have a better defense than last year, because last year was kind of disgusting. So hopefully this whole team can come together, because first year our offense was bad and our defense was great. Last year our offense was great and our defense was bad. So hopefully both of them can be great this year. But without further ado, I will see you guys at the midseason point, and hopefully we are looking pretty good. Alright, here at the midseason point of year number 3, we are unfortunately coming off of a loss to the Atlanta Falcons, but we are 5-2. This is going about as well as I expected it to. I didn't think it would be quite undefeated here, because this isn't the best team I've ever built, but it is definitely good. The problem with this team is cap space, though, and I've kind of had to deal with that, so I haven't been able to get like true superstar players in free agency, but I've made do with what I could do. And honestly, our rookie quarterback is going hard in the paint. Unfortunately only star dev, but 2,000 yards, 18 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions, which 6 is kind of a lot for 7 games, but you know, when you're throwing 18 touchdowns as well, I'll take that. When you're throwing 3 times as many touchdowns as interceptions, you're doing something right, that's for sure. And the completion percentage, 70%, that's amazing. This dude is like the polar opposite of Jameis Winston. It's nice. Not that Jameis is terrible, but, you know, he hasn't been great for us. So, Alvin Kamara, 600 yards, 4 touchdowns. Again, I'm not going to go through all the stats, just any outliers. Cesar Ruiz, of course, is tearing it up again. Trevor Penning isn't doing great. In terms of sacks, Marcus Davenport is leading the team. And DeMarcus Scott, ooh. Okay, already has 3 sacks. I definitely love to see that. The other guy isn't doing a whole lot, not Kingsley Keke. I think it was Traylor. Yeah, Chris Traylor. It doesn't look like he's getting many snaps, actually. He only has 4 tackles on the year. I have him as our number 1 D tackle, technically, but just isn't playing a lot, so I might slide him in there. And yeah, overall, this team is looking great. I mean, overall, I wish we were getting a little more pressure, and I wish Trevor Penning was playing a little better. But yeah, this team is just overall playing amazing. In terms of re-signings, we have some older players here. A lot of older players here, actually. Tyrann, Cam Jordan, Marcus May, Jarvis Landry. We do have Zach Bond, who isn't older, but still. Michael Thomas, Demario Davis. a lot of older players, but yeah, I don't really even have to worry about this because this is the final year, so that's kind of the beauty of it. But now, without further ado, I'm kind of nervous about this, not gonna lie, because this has kind of been a tough team to rebuild, but I will see you guys at the end of year number 3 of the rebuild, aka the last year of the rebuild. Let's hope we're in the playoffs. Alright, and here we are at the end of year number 3 of the rebuild, and we are in the playoffs, going 11-6 this year. We're going up against the Washington football team in the wild card round. They're at an 84 overall, so pretty close to our overall, but we do have an overall advantage, and I don't know if home games matter in Madden literally at all, but we do have one. We do have some upgrades here. Let's do those real quick, but I will get into the season stats in a second. Marcus Davenport gets an upgrade up to an 89, probably playing up to at least a 90 with morale, so I definitely love that. Let's check the season stats, and it looks like somebody won Offensive Rookie of the Year. Bruce Meredith, 4,700 yards, 38 touchdowns, only 12 picks, 110 QBR as a rookie, or passer rating, not QBR, passer rating. Rushing, Alvin Kamara had under 1,500 yards, which is crazy to be disappointed about, and only 16 touchdowns compared to his usual, like, 19 I think he's had. So, overall, just an amazing season. Not as good as his other ones, but still absolutely amazing. Michael Thomas, though, 1,500 yards, 11 touchdowns. Chris Olave, 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns. Adam Troutman, only 780 yards, but 12 touchdowns. Not that 780 is bad, but still. And Jarvis Landry, only 760 yards and 3 touchdowns for him. So it looks like our offense is kind of like turned more towards targeting these two and less of every other player, except Adam Troutman. He has been getting more targets in the end zone at least, so I definitely like that, or in the red zone. You know what I mean? Either way makes sense. In terms of sacks, obviously Cesar Ruiz was our best lineman this year, as usual. So if you're playing a Madden franchise, get Cesar Ruiz. He's goated in this for sure, whether his overall says it or not. But Trevor Penning, like usual, allows the most sacks on our team, but it is up to an 80 with morale, so that's pretty good. Ryan Ramczyk was very good for tackle, and overall our linemen were not bad. Ethan Price in his first year starting played really well, only let up 5 sacks all year. Eric McCoy let up 4 as a center, which isn't ideal, but not terrible. Pete Werner led the team in tackles with tackles for loss. Marcus Davenport had 16. Cam Jordan had 15. DeMarcus Scott had 15 and 6 sacks. He was a really, really good rookie. Okay, cool. Pete Werner had 11 tackles for loss. Kingsley Keke had 10 tackles for loss. And I see a crazy stat I'll get to in a second. Sacks. Ooh, I accidentally skipped. Hold on. I accidentally pressed a button. Sacks were pretty bad this year, actually. I don't really know what the deal was here, but Marcus Davenport had 9, which is solid. It's okay. DeMarcus Scott had 6, which shouldn't have been second on the team. Kingsley Keke had 5, even though I didn't even start him, but fair enough. Cam Jordan only had 4.5. Yikes. Okay, so I see a clear weakness to our team here, that is pressure. This is looking like the Seahawks from last year or something. That's not very good. And interceptions, I was just saying Pete Werner was underrated for this rebuild. 6 interceptions as a linebacker. That's maybe the most I've seen all year for a linebacker, at least. That's disgusting. 3 from Tyrann, 2 from CJ Gardner-Johnson now. Dude, I'm like confusing myself with all his different. Marshawn Lattimore had 2, Sean Murphy-Bunting had 2, so it was a pretty good signing, it looks like. Kicking, who cares, but he was fine. Blake Gilkin was not, because normally punters have at least 50 in Madden per punt, you know what I mean? 2nd in offense, 14th in defense, so it's pretty good. And I want to check these yearly awards. I'm actually intrigued. Baker Mayfield on the Eagles won MVP. I was thinking about signing Baker too. That's disgusting. I'm not too mad that I didn't sign him because we obviously had the number 5 player for MVP voting, Bruce Meredith. And obviously if we signed Baker, we wouldn't have had the money to sign some other players, so Bruce Meredith was easily the move there. But yeah, he comes in at number 5 for MVP, so we all know what that means, obviously. Offensive Player of the Year, number 4 is Bruce Meredith. Number 8 is Alvin Kamara. Hey, Sam Howell's actually playing for Washington. That's pretty cool. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Nick Bosa. Pete Werner came in at number 3. I think he should have won that personally, but whatever. In any other Saints, it does not look like it, unfortunately. Offensive Rookie of the Year, obviously Bruce Meredith. And any other Saints? No, I don't even know if we had any others play. And DeMarcus Scott comes in at number 2 for Defensive Rookie of the Year, losing to Kurt Scott. Scott on Scott crime, unfortunately, of the Dallas Cowboys. I'll check out his season. I want to see if this is truly better than DeMarcus Scott. Okay, so Kurt Scott had 61 tackles, 14 tackles for a loss, and 7 sacks. That's iffy, because I believe our guy... Okay, yeah, that makes sense, actually. I thought DeMarcus Scott had like 100 tackles, but no, he only had 50. So yeah, less tackles for loss, less sacks. Okay, I'm fine with that, but still number 2 as a like 3rd rounder. I don't remember when I drafted him, but something like that. So yeah, that was a very good pick. Number 2, can't complain about that, I guess. Wish he won it, but the other guy definitely did play better. But here, we are taking on the Washington football team. And overall, let's check out their roster. I haven't normally done that in rebuilds, but let's take a look at their team real quick. I believe they're still called the football team in this, yeah. So they have Jonathan Allen up to a 98 with morale. That is disgusting. Terry McLaurin at a 98. So it's a lot of the same players they have in real life, except they also have Odell and Michael Gallup. A lot of their players have just developed really, really well. Adding a few players in here, obviously, but yeah. Overall, they're just really developing their younger players. Chase Young, Daron Payne, Kendall Fuller's a good corner. Antonio Gibson could be good. Chase Roulier's a really good center. So overall, this team, it's definitely looking a little scary. Their free safety is a little weak, but I don't know, man. This team is looking good. I would be happy if we beat them. I obviously don't want to lose, but I'm kind of worried about this now. But here we go. Nothing to do other than sim it, so I guess let's hope and let's pray that we can beat the Washington Commies. And I shouldn't have called them the goddamn Commies. We lose to the Washington football team in the wild card round, unfortunately. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this rebuild. This was probably the hardest one I've had to do so far, just because the Saints are in cap hell. This is probably harder than the Jets one because they're pretty good in terms of cap. It's just when you're handicapped by cap, you know what I mean? It's tough, man. It's hard to break out of that, especially when a lot of your players are players that you can't really afford to get rid of. So if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to drop a like. Let's see if we can get to 50 subs again, and let's shoot for 10 likes on this video. Be sure to comment down below what team you want me to rebuild next. Of course, I will give you a shout out if I pick your comment. Most liked comment will most likely be the one I do, so be sure to comment down below, and as always, I will see you guys again in the next video. Goodbye.